Have you ever wanted to figure out if you're the strongest rally or garrison lead in your kingdom? Well, it's time to introduce Davor's latest tool. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Akina Rise of Kingdoms video. Today I'm really excited to be able to share Davor's latest rally and garrison lead scoring system. It's one of many tools that he has created for the community, and this will be available for use for everybody. In this video we are going to talk through how the tool works and how it's both beneficial not just for individuals but also for leads of kingdoms. If you want to be able to rank your rally and garrison leads so you know when it comes to war your strongest lead is either rallying or garrisoning, this is the tool you need to be using. But before we dive in, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Everyone does mean a lot, so thank you to everyone that has already subscribed. Smash the like button, turn the bell on for the notifications, and also join the Discord if you haven't already. All the links are in the description below, along with the link to this tool. Let's start off with the README tab at the bottom. So in order to use this, we need to create a copy first of all. So let's go and do that now. So we're making a copy. Just going to press make a copy. It will do the work for us. And then after it has created it, we should be able to use it. May take a bit of time as there is a few scripts embedded into this tool, but it should come out as you can see now. So this is based on a scoring system which gives 1 point to the value of 1% attack and giving the relative points to 1% of other stats and bonuses using scales of value for each role. So for example, if damage is 1, health 1.5, defense 2, attack 3. Attack is 1 point, defense is 1.5, health is 2, and all damage is 3 points. So this is based off the scoring system, for those that haven't seen, that Davor has previously created that specifically looks at the respective commander pairing and applies this for rallying garrisons. And this is built off of 3 different layers. And as the scale of value section says, the value of stats are dynamic. So for example, we're going to start off with the commanders. So you choose a commander pairing. Let's say Attila Subutai is your pairing. That pairing is going to have very different stats to a Nevsky Justinian, for example, just thinking about 2 cav rally leads. Nevsky Justinian will have a lot more defense than Attila Subutai will. And because of that, that reduces the value of defense. Because as we know in Rise of Kingdoms, there is diminishing returns. Once you have selected which commander pairing you're going to use, the tool then considers those values, adjusts the weighting of attack, health, defense, damage, and you go to the second layer. The second layer then considers your equipment. What sets do you have? Are they special talented? What level of iconic are each one? Are there any set bonuses, for example? That's your second layer. Then to the third layer, which then readjusts after considering both the first and the second layer. Now we go to your formation. What are your armaments? What are the stats of your armaments? What are your inscriptions? And finally we come to a score. And this is the most important value at the end, because something that's really difficult, at least from a lead's perspective, before a tool like this came out, is understanding truly which lead is stronger than the other. You obviously want your strongest lead to lead the majority of the time whenever their account is online. Not for ego or for anything else, but for efficiency, right? You want to kill as less of your troops as possible and kill as many of the enemies as possible. So it just makes sense. And in 1606, we've had a tool similar to this for the past few years. And not quite to the level of detail that Davor has been able to create, but when you have the ability to compare leads via just one numerical figure, you're able to get everyone working towards the absolute meta. You know exactly how to min-max your set based on this tool, based on what the highest score will be. Of course, it's not the be-all and end-all of war. Just because you have your strongest lead doesn't guarantee you success. But it definitely helps. So each one is based off the latest meta pairing. The latest update is May 2025 on this one, and I think this sheet we are looking at is the old KVK tech tree. Garrison, normal attack and counter attack values are considering a swarm situation. Rallies are not, so that's something to consider. Rally is pure DPS, no anti-swarm. Garrison does consider anti-swarm. And disclaimers: no tool is perfect. This one is not. The aim is to get a more accurate system, better than a static generic scale of values. As troop type, commander pairing, role, equipment are bringing very different bonuses to the table. It's a mathematical tool. Reality is there's a lot more RNG that isn't factored here, and it's a calculator, but a less accurate comparison tool. And there are other tools that Davor has created. For example, the armament evaluation tool, where you can compare how good an armament is for specific commander pairings. I'll also link that one down below, and if you haven't checked the stream I did with Davor, there will be a card up in the top. Shout out to King's Codex, where you'll also find this tool, and Davor, where he shares his wisdom. And also, Davor doesn't ask for any money for his work, so before we dive in, this is just a shout that this is the link, buymeacoffee.com/DavorRock. If you want to support him and the work that he does, please make sure you share the love to him on that link. There's an introduction, probably a bit longer than planned, but let's get into the interface. How does this calculator work? Let's start off with the role. So we are going to be looking at my Cav account, currently in 2377. First thing we do is select the rally. So Davor's only got the key meta pairings, and as said, he will update this when the new ones come out. So Cav rally, we're going to try Subutai. VIP, we are VIP 19. Arabia is the civilization. Spending, let's say it's pop-up, mountain warfare, and daily, so it even takes into consideration your tech spend. And then city skin, sadly my account doesn't have a zenith, so we're going to go with the trusted divine abode. Now this is layer 1, and it's based all on personal information and your pairing. The score is 136.5. okay, that's great, but there's so much more we need to do. We're going to go to equipment, and as you saw at the start of the stream, and we can flick back now, this is the equipment that we're going to be looking at. So everything is special talented for Cav, everything special talented, all iconic level 5 apart from the gloves at level 4 and the boots at level 3. So when we go back to the sheet, we can now input this data. So Sacred Dominion special talent level 5, correct. Pride of Khan special talent level 5. Chess piece, correct. Navar's control is only level 4, I think it was. Was it 4? Yeah, it was level 4. Ash of the Dawn level 5. Boots were only level 3, but because that's capacity, iconic 2 is what you need to select. Horn level 5 and ring level 5. We have 2 pieces of the Hellish Wasteland set, and that is the only buff that we will get. So after second layer, 284.9. Now we go to the final layer, which is your formation and your inscriptions and armaments. So going back to the game, if we go to armaments, so all special inscriptions, and then we have the stats also. So back to the sheet, and it's already been done. So we have Thrasher, Butterfly Effect, Steel Skin, and Flurry. For the stats, I need to recall now what they were. It's 9-7 for attack, 8 for defense, so stats are kind of on the low side, 9.1 for health, and then damage, I think it was 1.5, yeah, 1.5. Cool, so that is my score, and then we can now see that our score is here, 517.1, which puts me in S+ tier. And Davor has created tiers based on the score that you have. So we can put our name, Akina, and the best thing about this is without even leaving the sheet, you can just press save, and it's running a script now, as you can see. And then from this script, it will input this data into the final tab, which is scoreboard. So give it permission to run. Okay, once you've given it permission to run, it will give you some French, as Davor is French and created the spreadsheet in French. I won't try and pronounce this with my French accent, but we will click OK. And it should, okay, maybe we need to try again. Running script. Okay, there we go, cool. So it's in the raw data section. So it saves it, you can move on to the next one. So for example, let's do another one. If we go back to the game, and this time we look at a different pairing. So let's consider Nevsky Justinian, so skill damage rally. Nevsky has no gear on at the moment, so we'll take Huo for example. We're going to use the same equipment. We're just going to look at armaments. So we're looking at the wedge set this time. Not all specials, sadly, one missing. But we will take this into consideration. So moving back to the browser, we are going to change our role now to skill damage. We're going to keep this, nothing has changed. The equipment, nothing has changed. But we now need to go to wedge and then input our inscriptions. So we had hunter, intrepid, balanced. We don't have another one for special. We then had devious. So here in the commons, you can see that there are different names for the same inscription basically. So devious is the skill damage one. Even though it says enraged, it's the same thing as devious. And then for the stats, we had 9.9 attack, 12.8 defense, health would be 6, and then our damage was 3.7. So this is still S+ tier according to Davor's rankings, and it comes out with a score of 482.6. Let the data run. We have the raw data, and now you can see the information is saved here, the timestamp, the tier. Now this is great for being able to rank it by tier. And then what you can do from this is you have a scoreboard here, and you can fill this information using your raw data. So for example, we have, let's just take my wedge set. So cavalry skill damage. So Akina, and let's write Nevsky Justinian. If I spelled that right, Justinian, I think so. And then we go to our raw score, which is 482. And there we go. I just need to put that back there. Cool. So as you can see, this is now inputted into a table, which you can then populate for your kingdom. This is for leaders. You can populate this and come out with a complete ranking of all of your leads. You just need to make sure you get all of the information to be able to fill this out properly, as we've just shown. What you could also do is add another tier, another column for the tier. For example, S+ tier, because in general, the difference between the best leads, if they're all in the same tier, is kind of minimal. Sometimes just getting a rally up is more important than making sure the best one is there. And if they're in S+ tier, unless someone has the most ridiculously broken set, there isn't going to be too much difference. Regarding the tiers, I don't think Davor has put any information as to what they are, but you can figure them out if you just remove a few things and reduce some stats. So if I just got rid of a few inscriptions, you can see, okay, still S+, remove, and we're down to S tier. And then if you have no inscriptions and let's say iconic 1 gear for everything with no special talents, then we'll see that this is now no tier. So yeah, we've fallen a bit too far there. If we add the special talents back on, we're going to B tier. Generally, the rule of advice is anything below that you don't really want to be using, if it can be helped, of course. But yeah, that's the tool. It's an incredible bit of work from Davor, and I think not only is this useful for individuals that are trying to rate their personal score as a rally or garrison lead in relation to their tech spend, but also such an incredible tool for leaders and war planners to be able to at a glance just see what your leads or how your leads are ranked. So this is the tool. It's available in the description below. Just don't forget to make a copy of the spreadsheet. Also, just note that this is currently for the old technology. There is another sheet here, exactly the same sheet, but it's just including the new technology. I haven't spoken to Dav about this, but potentially we can get the old and the new one merged into one in the future. If you do want to contact Dav, his Discord is here. Please don't spam him. He is very, very busy. But if you have any questions, please also go to King's Codex, which can be found here, and find him on there. You'll usually see him in one of the chats helping someone out. So yeah, big thank you to Davor. Don't forget his support link, buymeacoffee.com/DavorRock. And also don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join the Discord if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your time, as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Much love. Thank you.